Hello everyone. Um, well, we start. Just two things. One, this stream is gonna be slightly shorter than the usual. Not for nothing, I have like a medical appointment. And I need to end the stream at least 30 minutes before the usual time. So I get there in time. And if I don't sound very well, I'm having like not very good heart pain. It's nothing serious. I know what it is. It's fine. It's just if I sound low energy, yeah, I'm a little bad. But I'm fine enough to stream. It's nothing serious. Hopefully I can give enough energy when I read the dialogue and everything, but yeah, if I sound not super good, that's the main reason. Ironically, the thing that I have to do in the doctor is completely unrelated to that. It's for my knee. That I mentioned before that I might have a tendinitis. I think I mentioned it. Got that from trying to exercise to help my back problems. And or doing this really bad drop that I had like over a month ago. Because apparently that's just how it is for me. Anyway, let's get to the part where stuff happens. 22nd of February, Sholmes' suite. Oh, Wunya, Sushi, hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Sushi. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at your bedtime. I've just made a pot of tea. I said some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The wonder has returned at last! Where did I have the pair of you been? We've been in court? Doing our job? Of working at a courthouse? As a lawyer, which is my job? Oh, for Mr. Mustache case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you did. You think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We managed to escape without a guilty verdict at least. Really, I would have liked to see. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Ripper again. It's been too long. It's Lorban Six, an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes. Why do I feel like they are friends? Not even like in a gay way, just like friends. Weirdest friendship in London. Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed! That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science! Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? Oh boy, we're gonna have to actually ask ourselves, huh? Lord Baron Van Six. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Valley. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts. Sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling on the air-passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. You know, any kind of murder. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. Poison, getting burned alive, asphyxiation, asphyxiation by an inert gas, asphyxiation by helium. That was kind of specific for me. Don't worry about it. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Stansig's own hand. As it happens, Miss Sato, that is quite impossible. Oh, why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever this incident occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into the trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Oh, no. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable. Damn! I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing, you know, beyond the racism of all Japanese people. But like beyond the race, it's like he has 2 layers of racism, you know what I mean? He has like the regular white British person racism, and then he has like a double layer where he's like super extra racist against Japanese people. Like he's racist and he has a personal vendetta, you know what I mean? So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not tea is genuine at a drop of, some tea. Oh my. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stars along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of rough flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris? Are you ready, Harley? Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It turned completely black. And what a foul odor is giving off. Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with the black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally? Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. Hence why the chemical test is merely a test of my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial counsel in detective work. The Sherlock Holmes method will be the It will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based.
This little tea decant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research.
Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Oh boy. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending being Japanese, as well as Mrs. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Six seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. You know, more racist than the usual.
Indeed, it is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it?
Do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Varag Van Six chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, a young man's closest companion hail from the Empire of Japan.
No. What? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened?
No. I believe I'd made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but...
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe.
Well, goddamn, bitch! You can't just star me like that and then not give me what I need. Or what I want, I guess. So, your T-test, is that an example of forensic science?
Indeed it is! An essential tool in cases unhinged on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality.
Not a huge number of cases, then.
Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in no courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there.
Which is funny, because, okay, I think I mentioned it before. Fingerprints, like as a quote-unquote discovery, is from around the 17th century? No, 19th century. Like, it's 1889. Or 80 something. I think it's 89, but it's like late 1880s. And then the first time that is like there's a method of usage for a criminal investigation is in 1910. Like that's when they develop like a way of using it for this kind of thing. Which is developed in Argentina. And I think the first time that it's used in an actual case was 1912? Or was it like... Or was it that it was used in 1902? Like, I'm trying to remember, like I'm terrible with dates, we've established this. I see that it was used in 1902 and then like for the first time. And then the way that you use them, like a standardized way of using them, is started in 1910. I'm gonna have to recheck my sources, but because I don't remember. But yeah, by this point, we know that they should know that fingerprints exist and can't be used for this kind of thing. They just, you know, again, like he said, they are dragging their heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake the research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints. A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible.
It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes.
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed.
I don't believe you.
Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
Yeah, HP would know. See you later.
Yes, until later.
No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us.
You were?
Yes, of course, you said so just a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action.
Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. Will you go on ahead? I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably, maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye, Wuno. Bye, Sushi.
I'm gonna kill that man. I'm gonna kill that man.
February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor.
No, boy, it's you. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson, you bastard, you backstabbing bastard, you bastard, you bastard. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score.
Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window, did you find it with the tea in it?
Yeah, we found it alright, and there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said.
I knew it.
It's with the identification section of the CR now. They're looking into it. The search should be available later today.
That's wonderful news, thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning.
Sorry?
Nothing, forget it. Just like sure you don't disturb anything in here.
When did you get here? Like, I just noticed this thing is kind of... I wanted to check it. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? Especially when you imply that you might not come.
What a question indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Oi, what are you doing here, Sholmes?
What are you up to over there? What are you doing here?
Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madame.
Oh boy.
What's all this? Oh, this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Sholmes' sensational skin print cigar gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspierre's cup? Each individual leaks microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touches is easily revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed.
Spray? How do I do that exactly?
A little prison space on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Like this. What is that stuff? It's like fog. Suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. And that was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. You may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Okay. I don't suppose... No, that's just... the clothes make sense. Yeah, that also makes sense. Oh, air. I guess, yeah, there. Because I saw that was... Oh, look at all these here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why is there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here. There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Excuse me, I had a yawn. I don't know if it's related to the chest pain, but it might be. Don't ask about how you know that. It's my body's pain. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Oh, I accidentally did it again, okay. Oh! Look, there are dozens of handprints here. I was not expecting the painting. So there are a great many indeed, so much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. It sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall when he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene after all. And without wishing to say the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Very true, Mrs. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. The handprints on the floor there, and on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. It won't be a moment. Ha! A little jump is so cute. What is it, Mrs. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... you mean... it's a secret hiding place. Excellent work, Mrs. Sato. So what do we have here? Hi, what are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. As I write this minute. It's my job to investigate here. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portions of chips while we dig around under the floor here. Fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. You be the better is exactly what I need.
Whoa, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could fit a straw tatami mat. I could lift a straw tatami mat. No, I know, but I never expected one of those wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh. I'll investigate at once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think of why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. There you are, a print for you. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too? Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson, really it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I had. I killed to know what was under that floorboard. Alright then, fast fare. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you! Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oh, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. The 3 items under the floor there: a newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now what do you want to know? Looks like it was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. It made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness, he'd committed a capital offense. By the name of Selden, nasty piece of work into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Purely and the like, but he'd hidden it somewhere and no one knows where, and now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost and right to hell, or some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. I have to go over the paperwork we've got and send them back in the yard and see if I can turn anything up. This is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. The gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course. But who's a young man on the right? Mr. Garrideb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the Yar already knows the identity of the young fellow, then. Ah, is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you, Lord, leaking information is one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. Goddamn Sholmes. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I had. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden on the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamsphere himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrity was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud person of it. Now this thing perhaps looks interesting, doesn't it? May I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. Completely empty. What? Shamsphere gave us a clue, man! We didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Hashtag relatable. Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Wagahai? Wagahai! Oh look, is that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we've ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wahai. Here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. I love cat. He couldn't be happier now, look. I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Cat. I love cat. Look at it. Oh, baby. Meow to you too. That was a cheeky little meow, huh? Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have an investigation to get back to. So it turns out that Mr. Shamsphere wasn't eating the soup at all. That's right, the mystery of why he had it on a plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved. Yes, to prize his latest ice coin out of its mold. In the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two. It's certainly hard to imagine, let alone deduce. I don't think there's anything else that we might need to check, and... This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove... London really is a city of gas. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett have had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. I mean, technically, it's real fire. Just slightly different. Hmm. It looks kind of scratched, but maybe it's just me. Manchester's strange ways prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar and Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Okay. And this is just... like, this is the guy from that other picture. Let's see if Gary Depp has anything for us. 22nd of February, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Depp's room. Mr. Gary Depp appears to be out. Oh well. I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Well, that's a shame. Let's see if there's anything in Briar Road right now. 22nd of February, Briar Road. Also nothing, apparently. Yep. But I know that the picture is from Miss Green's boyfriend, so... My rat! The rat is back. 22nd of February, San Bartolomeo's Hospital Recovery Ward. How do you suppose it's happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily thou art mistaken. Mistaken my food. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Those full indeed, the poison that such villains gave to me. Forgive me, lady. I wish that you died from that poison. God have mercy, ample lady, but thou seest, I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Ah, lo, this the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare? Mary, I do believe I am returned unto another world. He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so darkly clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Okay. Anon, accent. Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Oh, Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh, yes, I mean, don't worry about me. About to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Rat. I love you, Rat.
This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
Ryunosuke, you don't have to be fatphobic. No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full figure before.
Well, if you want to draw a full figure person, he's the right tool for the job.
So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like these, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow and minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly.
Really?
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. I mean, I feel her. If I almost died, I would be like, yeah, you know what? I think I would have preferred to be dead. I would be like, nah, that was a good opportunity to die. What a shame. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Huh. You think I'd have a chance to ask her about the picture? Oh. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? My Mr. Naruhodo, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of.
Really? You're not gonna...
Okay.
I guess we'll go to the prison and see Mr. Natsume if he's around. 22nd of February, local prison, cell 9.
Oh. Well, that's a problem.
Well, let's go to Shakespeare's room, see if there's anything else I have to check. It might be that. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night. During their heated, literally debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's fiction, Miss Susato. Let's hope it stays that way.
The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked-up window. Yet with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Susato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. That's true, but if you think about it... Even the wealthy wouldn't find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san and I are going to make it to spring. That's true, we don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there. Yes, from all the water dripping out after the coins melted, as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shakespeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? What does the audience see, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruhodo, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I'll think about it. If you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. That seems to be everything here. Okay. Actually, maybe Mr. Gary Depp's one? We probably shouldn't poke around in here whilst Mr. Garridev is out. Oh, are you kidding me? Then where am I supposed to go? Like, Natsuma's not available. Like, I have to assume that it's Shakespeare, but... we don't even have the teen box to check. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe... but I can't present anything, is the thing. I'm pretty sure we checked everything else. Like, I don't understand. don't suppose there's anything around here. Oh, I actually... okay. It's the same dialogue from last time. Can you give me an idea, Susato? So, we know that Seki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question, but as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how did the poison get into Mr. Shamsier's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamsier's room that will help solve the mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. It couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we should ask him about that. Okay, so it is there, but I don't understand. Like, literally, I checked everything. I asked about everything. Yeah, no, this is the same as before. Like, I checked everything here. And I can't do anything here. The game won't allow me to check stuff in Gary Dev's place without him being around. We already checked. Maybe outside? No, we already checked that. That's... well, there's not gonna be anything on this side. This looks like the treatment note for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so... he or she's probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear. How worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. There are all sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look, I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this. Yes, you're right. I can't imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'll break the lock. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Mr. Sato. Lots of bottle in the cabin, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mr. Sato. This looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons? Yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. He absolutely must have read it. I don't trust doctors like that. I trust them enough, but I don't trust them like that. I think I checked everything here. Like, I don't understand. I don't think that I have to check anything here. There has to be something here. But I already checked everything. You know what? I'm gonna go check online. Because this is starting to get me a little... resolve. And this is case 2. No, I don't want your stupid AI, Google, thanks. Okay, investigation part 2. Holmes' suit. Let's see. Handprints on the wall. Newspaper clipping. Yeah. Photography print. And the tin box, which is not added to the thing. Okay. It says directly to move to the prison. But, like, Soseki is not here. Like, is there a... Wait a minute, let me check something. Resolve case through... Stuck. Rather, let's see, bug, maybe? Going back to the consultancy, discussing the first 2 default tokens with Susato might fix it. Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, that might be a fix. I was worrying that maybe the game was weird and me moving to Miss Green's room fucked it up, but apparently just doing the first 2 conversations might fix it. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he's actually a bare-faced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. There's more to this Mr. Shamspeare than we yet to know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspeare certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Let me see. Yes, he's at San Bartholomew's, or Bats as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital at which she was taken. Ah, yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. San Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Oh god, that fixed it, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's... It's weird? It's weird. But I guess my understanding from what I was reading in that thread, for the record, is that what the game does is what the second that the cat appears, the second Wanhai appears, the game wants you to go check on Natsume, and if you don't, the game gets kind of buggy about it. It seems like that's what happens. And so since I went to see Miss Green, and I had the scene with Shamspear, that kind of fucked it up. Happens, apparently. 22nd of February, local prison, cell 9. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. Hi. I'm a cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Sherlock Holmes. I don't know about courts, or trials, or Old Baileys. I am a cat. I am a kitty cat. And I dance. That's what I am. Just a cat. Just a kitty cat. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has, completely. I wish that were me. So, what is your name then? As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? I am not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate. Mr. Natsume, no. This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope. Yes, Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Squire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent. In court, in my lodgings, here, there, everywhere. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who are you gonna call? Psychic friend? Redbear. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. In my whole life, I have never been so moved as I was today. No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just block those out, and today, being in that courtroom it was the most moving experience of my life. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Squire. You're too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea just as we deduced and are analyzing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn sworn Soseki certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at the same time, you were both completely fine. As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamspear are engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceeding will be how the poison was taken by the victim, then.
That rotten Shakespeare, what have I ever done to him?
You don't recall him taking issue with you or anything you've done recently.
I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner.
Let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live on a curse existing in such a cursed lodgings.
Yes, you say it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you?
Exactly, especially the room I rent. The spirit of the capital offender who lived there still haunts the place and is trying to kill me.
Capital offender?
May I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Squire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps?
I mean, if you want. But I guess with the fact of what he just said, I'm gonna go out of a limb and...
What's this?
It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspierre's room.
Ah, so he knew, did he?
Sorry?
About this man, Selden. A convicted killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings.
What?
He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another, a miserable, mustache malign Japanese man.
Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you know about this evil spirit.
The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garidev's house.
What? He lived where you do now?
That's right, yes, exactly where I live now, in my very room.
Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense.
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse.
What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison, a man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside.
Locked from the inside, exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So, that's the convict's curse, is it?
Yes, well, that was the side of it.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas.
Gas?
I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Garideb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I probably would have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal.
Luckily for Mr. Garideb, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume.
And now
now you believe this curse is affecting you.
It is, at first. I just felt as though I was being watched all the time.
And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you?
They are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. When I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice.
But why is your room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating and overnight. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible! It's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspierre last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. It's clearly more that incident that can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Gary Depp's rooms? Well, good question. I guess we're gonna have to ask the man. If he's back, anyway. "22nd of February, Mr. and Mrs. Gary Depp's rooms." Ah, you're here now, Mr. Gary Depp.
Why, buddy, business it is for me, you know? Getting out and about.
Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance?
Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that, not a trail to miss.
But what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes.
Guys, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such.
Ah, well, at least he knows.
Makes you wonder what the blaze is going on, don't you?
Yes, I'm sure he does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's solo trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened?
Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business.
I see.
Oh, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the houses seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. So the valley curse.
The convict's curse, you mean?
Ah, heard the stories of you. Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, and then the next chap in the room goes and kills over. And there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, huh? Well, can't help but get the cully wobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamsier, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still.
Yes, well, so he's a blasted convict's curse, it seems.
Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either.
But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here.
Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things. In case there are any mishaps or such like.
I think you had your mischief already, sir.
That's not helpful, Mr. Shumps.
Heaven forgive me, the words just came to my lips.
A fishy fellow from the far...
What? That's the same as before. There's no need for that, Mr. Gary Deb. That was the same line as before. I'm not insane. That's right, Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He is undeniably peculiar, however.
Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. Don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspeare been lodging under your roof? That failed actor chap? Let me see. Ah, of course. It's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. Only 3 months? He's quite new here, too, then.
And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrideb, if I may ask?
Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Selden and Shamspeare have some kind of connection, then. That convict chap Selden was away in the cling 3 months ago now, you see. Some milady or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face. The actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
This world we inhabit, 3D London, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspeare, do decide to take thy room on the middle floor, offer it wild for rent.
Terribly sorry I went over that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant though.
Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
Those cries must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor's taken. It's ground floor or nothing.
Very well, we have an accord.
Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road.
Lo, a Shamspeare dance to celebrate. Nobody wants to see that.
From what I hear, what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent too. Yeah, the fellow was a bully player, right?
Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garrideb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal lodgings in me.
What's happened to you?
Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know.
Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then. Let's see, let's try with the photo first. Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to look at this photograph?
Look at this photograph.
Is that your son who's with you there? Ah, no. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really.
Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, that's right.
Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one may say.
Yes, you and Duncan live in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before the Japanese chap. Will you mind telling us a little more about him? Yes, Duncan Rose. Young chap was done in our school, had to work to pay for it. Mine. moving to the middle floor room about a year ago after the criminal Sylvan was arrested. Youngsters are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Didn't quite work out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers are up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell gas had alerted me what it was.
Ah, yes, synonymous with the smell of death.
Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off his hinges. Once we got inside, we all badly collapsed.
Because of the gas?
Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. Someone had gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed.
So Mr. Ross suffocated to death.
But the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house.
But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. That the stove goes out at night while he's sleeping in bed.
Well, that's the valley curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as landlord now.
Someone's feeling defensive. I mean, I have no reason to not believe him that he changed all of them. This is the thing. Like, I don't think he's lying.
Ah, that reminds me, actually.
Yes?
About young Duncan. The night before the poor chap perished. He had been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
Love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Here it is. Left it in my desk.
If you'll excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mrs. Sato, that is precisely why I preface my reading with, if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no.
Only he didn't address it, though.
Well, I mean, we've seen the photo, we know who it is.
I have no means of delivering the thing. That's sad, really.
I see. That's going to play on my mind. But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone now. We should leave well alone. Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient address is missing, however. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please, I've already had to chastise you about this once. My undying love to you, my colorful darling, Olive Green. Ah. Oh, Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside the house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Seki's-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mrs. Sato. God damn it, this man. Well, it's time to go visit Miss Green, then. "22nd of February, San Bartholomew's Hospital. Recovery ward. Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. What is it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back.
One moment. I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you doing? What are you all doing here? The doctor has said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things in order, my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all. Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright. I don't really have anything else to tell you. Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can cause something out of her. Yeah, about that. I don't trust like that, so let me see what that is. This is the bottle that Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. I don't even know what to say to that. Jesus Christ? Oh no! Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. And there seems to be a note as well. This is the card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking at a young woman's private effects. Right, I should say peeking for gentlemen's effects only. Gay. You mustn't do that either. And maybe you, Mrs. Sato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, Well, no information out of that. So, how's it going, girl? It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh, yes. I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. What if I were to present you with objects? Wait, we didn't grab the note? Apparently we didn't grab the love note. Okay, then I guess we'll use the foot. Like, I thought we had that. I thought it was added to Cora. Okay. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Rose. You, knew him, didn't you? Wait, is his name supposed to be like a play on Bob Ross? I just realized that. Girl! That's purple. Oh no, I'm so sorry! The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? I think she, passed out from fear, maybe. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Mr. Rose had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan. A year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. And that's what led him to Mr. Garidev's. Yes, he told me he'd found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. It's been a month. Like, I think that you need a lot more time to mourn. Poor Miss Green, she looks desperately sad. I was starting to think that was just her look. Renosuke, I'm gonna throw you out of a window. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Yeah? Oh, it's you, of course. I hope that it was another person. Surely you're not about to leave. That's quite out of the question, Mr. Naruto. Mr. Sholmes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow, watching intently from the shadows as always. Well, make your presence known next time. Mr. Sholmes, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Sato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post factum modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. Sholmes, I know that it's the 1900s, but there's this thing called, like, mind crimes? Like thought crimes, rather. I don't know why I said mine first. Those are not illegal. So, like, it's kind of hard to prevent a case from happening because you don't know when someone is gonna commit a... Well, there are some indicators where you would assume that a person would commit a certain kind of crime. Mostly the bypass, like the passing of, like, you know, the pipeline between, you know, domestic violence and, you know, murder of a spouse, for example. That's very common. That's, you know, preventable, all things considered. But, like, generally people, like, you can't generally prevent a lot of crime. I hate to break this to you. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruto. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruto. I know you can. Oh no, the rat is dead! That mouse seems to be dead, look. I didn't notice it before, did you? Man, I was gonna adopt it and it was gonna become my best friend and I was gonna call him Raticus. Or Ratfael. Ratsmodius the Third. Ratmiel the Great. I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's... Oh, for a moment I thought it was Renosuke. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think... Ah, I see you come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has spilled out onto the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. Ah! I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Or, you know, any poison. Rats are delicate, they're small. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. Thank you. You're very kind. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life? Ah, once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison? No! Miss Green, please talk to us. Just in case, I'm gonna assume that this is a suicide note, so let's check it. It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Well... And seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. My poor little friend. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove this to my office. Miss Green, I take it you have no objection. No, none. Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope of the card. It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in hospital here. Oh, that's from Shakespeare. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Rose. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. 5 PM. It's precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Gary Dev's house is on. Does this mean that? Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. The day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such painful memories for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green, please promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. But now. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel. Leaving Miss Green and San Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. Oh god damn it, I thought it was a Saturday. Yeah, it's late. It's cool. And Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Garrett's lodgings, the convict seldom. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes. Well, they have found I still don't know how to pronounce that. Strychnine. Strychnine in it or not. Well, I feel that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Ripper. Oh dear. Yes, Baron Van Six. But I wish you every success, of course, and though I was late to rise this morning. Tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed. Whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to 6 million people in the 1900s. It's going downhill from there. But away from the razzle-dazzle down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Seki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to leave the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. Okay. Oh, there it is. For a moment I was waiting, and it's like, okay. For the trial. 23rd of February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Bro! You're a little close. Awkward. This is it then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsume, to everything. Speaking of making an end to everything, I'm gonna go get myself my coffee, since we're finishing the stream earlier today, since I have medical stuff to do. I'd rather get my coffee slightly earlier, and but then I don't know if we're finishing the trial with 30 minutes less than the usual, but we might at least get to because I think it's like another part after this. We might end the trial. We'll see. But I think it has like 2 parts, the second part of the trial. Like it has one save point in between. But we'll see. I'll come back in a sec. Alrighty, we're back. Sorry for the wait. In my own small way, I shall do everything I can do to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mr. Sato. Suffering Soseki selfishly sideline! You're not sidelined, sweetie, you're just very quiet. Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Squire. Listen to you two, chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting! What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've acquired spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. He is right, because when you're a writer, you want to kill yourself all the time. How do you know I'm a writer? I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Somehow. You'll have to forgive me. And you mustn't talk of your path leading to death, Mr. Natsume. That was just an example! No, it was not. Oh yes, there it is. Inner calm. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. Yeah, because I was investigating. I was sure you'd abandon me and return to to our beautiful long-lost homeland. We've not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway. I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh, what sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. I swear to God, if he says that he's going back to Japan, I'm gonna lose my mind, because that was the ending of the first case that we had with him. Like, that was the point. The point at the end of the first trial that we had with Soseki was that he was returning to Japan anyway, because fuck this country, which... not disagreeing with that. Alright. It would seem Mr. Shums isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. It's a very clear message, I think, that he's overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis. Long may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative, the trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately and let me whack your balls. It's part of the judge's thing. I'm legally obligated to do it. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden here somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. Totally gonna work out. It's not gonna be problematic. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything is going to be just daijobu. I say, lying to myself. 23rd of February, 9:40 AM, the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready.
Very good. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done, you mark my words.
I feel obliged to say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my heart is sitting just right. Well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me, and please be as ruthless as you like. Don't flirt with your fellow jurors, juror number 3. Thieves deserve to die, if you ask me, especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all.
Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this, I've got my own problems. May the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today.
When did this old man become religious?
Now, Lord number 6, what can you tell us? The prosecution's report, please, for the court, in relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's team.
So he does have the results. Are you salty? Are you salty because I was right? Are you salty because I was correct? You piece of shit! Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black thief belonging to the blackguard in the dock, pray, allow me a moment to savor a liquid of more sanguine hue.
We get it, you're a vampire.
In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on the top of it.
Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him last night. That night,
Well, the brains of the ER analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it.
No poison at all.
In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation!
Hee hee! Fuckos! As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. Defendant Mr. Suzuki Natsume is blameless here. Bro! My land friend is jumped into conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. What? Yes, it's true no poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But, what logic is that? Will you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? Band 6, do you think I'm stupid?
My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel.
Exactly! Unfit for drinking, just as the victim Steve was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Vita was the precise words from the lips of Mr. William Shakespeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request.
Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend.
You know, every time that I read Shams here, I remember, what was it? Was it the second game or was it the third game? That is the 3 questions and it's like, you're a sham, the evidence is a sham, I'm a sham, like, from Phoenix. Like, it was something like that. This entire courtroom is a sham. The entire country of London, I mean England is a sham. I was thinking of London and that's the city, not the country. Let's not be stupid. Not more than the usual amount anyway.
Bailiff, show Mr. Shamsier to the stand and work his balls. It's part of his job.
Why does he do that every time? Mr. William Shamsier, the victim of this despicable crime?
How heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a belly full of the foul fluid given in mine innocence.
Yes, but as revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using vats of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes.
One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a room full of the sweet fuel given.
That's right, fellow jurors, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I haven't forgotten. You all thought about the ice coins a tiny secret, didn't you? You should have owned them sooner.
Arrest him, I say, arrest him at once, and let him feel the sting of in my tail.
I know, when we get it, you're a bee. You and that other guy.
Oh, indeed, by dint of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further my own ends, I confess. Thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure.
If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here?
Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, that would be well deserved. But
if I was you, I wouldn't have added the but. I would just have gone with it. It'll be faster, I promise.
would it not a still greater crime pass it unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of Father East and Verona did contrive to poison me.
Objection! But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that. But the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shakespeare?
Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak.
Very well, the witness testified to explain this inconsistency. The court why it is that poison apparently tell the court why it is that poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea. I can't read. As usual.
The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. Thus in my cup alone, that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in order to aid, near the drop of his own drink past his lips. When he departed by and by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins suffice. Thus is not surprised that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap.
Okay, but Suseki did say that he drank everything, and his teacup actually doesn't have any tea marks, which implies that he actually drank it as fast as possible. So no marks were left, from letting it just rest on the cup. Something, this Japanese saying, drink your tea while it's hot. The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Right, otherwise it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. But no poison, but it was found at the scene. Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. Oh, come on, that's a weak excuse. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. By now, it should be perfectly clear. A bar of two of cheap soap is fully insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accuser's hands.
Sirs, madams, it is true that I, Shakespeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause, I have not to lose.
Well, I do declare. Don't get like that, you two. I'm gonna kill those specifically. Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Okay. Okay, well that's impossible. Where are my teacups? Oh, they're there. Objection! Like, literally that's impossible. You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question, and that you used the tea that was left in his cup to make your fake coins. But that's not possible.
How, chub logic. What is this dark-clad fane?
The two teacups from the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible. But defense. Look at the inside of the cups. Just here, there's a clearly visible ring. Yes, a tea ring, commonplace enough. Indeed, such things occur all too readily when one leaves the tea in a cup for a while. Or any other beverage, for that matter. Like it happens with coffee, too. And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring. Good Lord, you're right. It's completely clean.
And pray tea, sir, what must thou of it?
Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday.
The Japanese saying he quoted.
Drink. Tea. While it's hot. That's right. Yes. The jittery Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of his cup as well after the several hours the tea was left standing.
But,
in short, Mr. Shakespeare, you clearly lied to the court. Again.
Get thee to a nunnery.
You can't send me to a nunnery, I'm a man.
Objection!
Nunneries are for women. That's why they're called nunneries. They're for nuns. As a rule, I will fill my hallowed chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. You might want to keep that information to yourself. No offense, my dude, but I think you're becoming an alcoholic if you weren't one before. Yet on one occasion, tedium distracts me and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry. Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant. On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shakespeare,
yes, my liege.
Though you have previously stated that you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in the accused's cup, could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Could it be that, yes, perhaps there was some tea remaining in the small teapot left at the scene? A fact that had vanished from your memory until now? Run 6. You can't do Edward tactics with me, okay? You can't pull Edward tactics on my ass, okay? This is Ace Attorney 1 Edward bullshit. And you cannot use that on me because I'm built different.
Fade, my liege, thou art a magician. For verily, this as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes at night.
What?
Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked was empty. And thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege did suggest.
Objection! And you've just suddenly remembered now that you've made a mistake before? Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection!
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us two things of note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacups only. And secondly, that this foil cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that have bewitched this court. The prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words,
Always with the cape.
they consistently claim that the defense simply does not exist.
No!
I do declare it means there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. Apart from the bit about the thieving gas, obviously.
My lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear, after I did dine at the Grub's Grubbery Ale House that night, naught did pass my lips but the black tea given me by the Japanese, whose bag be stooped as low as death.
Do you have to be racist while accusing him? And on what did you dine, sir?
Why, I did partake of my favorites. A broth as would be called soup, and a leaf as would be called salad.
As insalubrious a menu as the establishment where it was served.
But ye gods will give us some faults to make us men. Willingly would I suffer what punishment is seen fit to serve a wicked thief of gas. But I pray ye wise and noble fellows, ne'er forget the simple truth. That be one thing, and this be another.
Hashtag that's sad and this is this.
Jurors, all, your humble servant Shakespeare doth entreat you, punish the Japanese fellow for his sins.
I'm going to kill this man. And then I'm gonna chuck Bond 6 out of a window. My lord! Oh, it's you. I thought it was gonna be like one of the bailiffs. If I may speak, my lord. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I believe we may have been duped by the rotten defense lawyer.
You motherfuckers!
By me?
I do declare you may be right.
We all know the wife there was making coins of ice to keep himself warm. His lawyer lord says he's stealing gas, he deserves a dose of poison, eh? He's been leading us up on the garden path, that's what he's been doing. I really never said anything like that. But what we just said from the victim there has opened our eyes again. We've reached a decision this time, and we won't be swayed from it. He says 10 minutes before I sway them away from it. The court acknowledges the position of the jury foreman, and will duly hear the jury's findings. What? No! You can't yet! We barely started! Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your decisions now.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
I hate that the Altamont lady does this because she's the one person who would benefit from a non-guilty verdict, because then she can just grab Champspeare's ass and get him in court for stealing the gas. Like, clearly Natsume, clearly Natsume didn't do this. This is such bullshit. This is such bullshit. I hereby declare the jury to be in one accord.
Oh, happy day.
How is this happening? My lord, the defense asserts its right to carry out a summation examination. Very well. The court upholds the defense's right. Typical. My land friend is unable to accept the obvious truth. Every single time that you said that 1-6, I ended up being right. So how about you shut the fuck up and let me do my work? This trial will therefore enter its second summation examination immediately. Of the entire trial. Not of the, of the entire trial. It's the first one of today, sweetie. Jurors, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime of which he is charged. Which is a poisoning, for the record. I swear to God, if all of your reasons are racist, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm a man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty.
I do agree that gas is far too expensive. I can't quite understand why the man would want to avoid pain.
And stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's absolutely lethal, gas is.
Gas doesn't come from free. It costs a fortune to deliver it around the city and maintain the pipes.
As we told, the Tiva Webster's up for me is a little sketchy at times. If nothing else possibility leaves the past victims that night, there's no other explanation, is there? I do feel that perhaps personal opinion about gas and its supply has influenced decisions somewhat.
Yeah, you don't say.
Never mind.
No, you really should mind. Truth is, our counter argument wasn't as unassailable as we'd hope. And Mr. Shakespeare was poisoned, there can be no doubt of that. Then how are we supposed to turn this around? I think we need to establish the method by which Mr. Shakespeare was actually poisoned. Only hope is to demonstrate that to the court incontrovertibly. But that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it though, Mr. Natsume will
be found guilty. Oh boy. It's always up to me. No delays, counsel. Proceed with the submission examination. Okay. I've noticed that you just have to press people who are saying whatever the fuck more often than not. And she's doing the most whatever the fuck ever in this situation. Can we please refrain from all this talk of gas?
There's an alert attack underway here in case you hadn't noticed against my company's gas. Am I supposed to sit here and take it? Am I? I don't think so.
She's really busy now.
All I heard about our wonderful fuel is explosions and poisonings. What about electricity, What about getting electrocuted? What about that? A little explosion here and there is nothing in comparison.
Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madame. And nevertheless, the theft of your gas is deplorable.
My point exactly, but the gas thieves aren't even the worst of our enemies. We have far more devious reprobates to contend with on a daily basis, you know.
More devious? Who, madame?
Other gas companies, of course.
Ah, the need for a monopoly, I see. Other gas companies. Not quite what I was expecting.
We generate gas and deliver it to our customers fair and square.
Indeed, nobody is questioning that, madame. Altamont is an exemplary gas company. Though there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that don't even have any gas at all.
What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go about selling it to people?
You wouldn't think it possible, would you? But they steal our gas, you see, and sell that.
They steal your gas. How on earth is such a thing possible?
Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's houses via network pipes. But these devious reprobates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. Then they make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes, and take money for the precious gas that's rightfully ours without us even knowing. Diverting gas into their own pipes illegally, what a worse form of theft. When we visit a customer's houses to collect the money from their meters, we always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies has been up to its tricks.
Yes? Do you have something to say,
Excuse
mister? Do you have something to say about that, juror number 3?
Oh golly, you mean me?
I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I really did catch him off guard there. Thinking about what the lady next to you was saying, correct?
Well, yes. I just got a little riled about it recently, you see.
Go on.
An Altaman gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipe work. We need to ask for your cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. I let him in, and do you know what he did?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Please tell us.
He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall. Then he grabbed the exposed mount of the pipe and started blowing into it.
What do you think you're doing, young man?
You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. But it was very nearly the death of me, I can tell you.
What do you mean?
I'll explain if you don't mind. As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network.
Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it?
Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's at a fairly low pressure. By blowing out through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the pipe will flicker for a moment.
Ah, I see. In other words, if, upon blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker, you can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes.
Exactly, my lord. That's it in a nutshell. Is the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. The trouble is, the particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you can guess what happened, can you?
Well, if he blew hard, then...
Wait, you mean... That's right, the lights didn't just flicker, they went out. Along with the stove, gas started pouring into the house.
What a disaster.
The gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard, so flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fellow, "Are you trying to kill us all?" I said.
So by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, it's possible to extinguish lamps and stoves connected to the same network of pipes. And then, when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room.
Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps...
Yes, this is almost certainly the clue that we've been hoping for.
Juror number 3, defense requests that you amend your statement, to include that information. Ah, well, if you like, I don't mind. Well, I do. That's our company's secret method of identifying the roads to try to do some... Like I said, madam, is widely known already.
Very well, juror number 3, you will amend your statement accordingly.
Yes, my lord, although I'm not really sure what the point of all this is. I think... Yeah, maybe.
Objection!
Yeah, that would make sense. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Good gracious.
To whose statement do you refer, counsel? Juror number 6, did you hear what juror number 3 just said? Well, yeah, yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or other. There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Natsume's tea did, in a manner of speaking, pass the victim's lips on the night in question. What explanation? I wonder, the police checked the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene to see if there were any traces of poison there. I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time, but the mouth of a gas pipe. Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance.
What a piece of work is a man.
I think you mean what is a man, a miserable pile of secrets. But that's not Shakespeare. It could be. I feel like he could have... I feel like Shakespeare could have written that first part of Symphony of the Night. He could have done it. What are you trying to say, Mr. Shakespeare?
What speaketh thou? Prithee, it is not strange. That is what I say to thee, sir.
I thought I'd been quite clear, but let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body. Good lord. I tasted them gas pipes. Is that what he's saying?
Why is the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry he tried to fill his belly with gas?
Perhaps no actress will perform a kiss scene with him,
For shame, madame, speaking I fancy. I assure you, I am not such a buffoon that I have to kiss pipes.
Objection!
That's what she said. This is no summation examination. This is a farce. The prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Nipponese friend's conjecture.
But my conjecture is so cool.
To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high on the wall. In order to have placed his lips to the pipe that fits it, he will have to be a contortionist. These are empty assertions. There is no possible proof that the man did as you say.
Objection!
It's true, I have no proof that Mr. Shamsier put his lips to the pipe. However, I can say with some certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamsier has been doing something in front of the lamp, of that lamp on his wall. And I have evidence to prove it. Alright, you got our attention, lad. I'd like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. So would I. Let's see this evidence then. Now that I've got the jury's ear, I need to make this opportunity count. This is a proof that, time and time again, Mr. Shamsier stood in front of the gas lamp. That would be, the handprints on the wall, like it's right there.
Take that!
What the? Yeah. These are... wait, what are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene. Skin prints, counsel? I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in court, however.
My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective Mr. Sherlock Holmes. It reveals all of the places that Mr. Shamsier touched in his room.
I never seen anything like that. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it? Well, if anyone could invent something like this, it's the great Holmes fellow, that's for sure.
I agree. This month's edition of Engineering Films was quite fascinating.
We found skin prints in many places that you would expect, on the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamsier also appears to have been
touching some very unexpected places in his room.
For example, here. Around the hanging picture there. Indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible.
Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork, perhaps?
At first, my colleagues and I thought the same. However, imagine standing with your hands there, with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of. I don't believe it. Gaslight. Though the reason why isn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamspierre has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp. Right. What have you been up to, you nut? I'd asked the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement. Me? What did I say? You said that blowing into a gas pipe would make the lights in the entire building flicker. And now, if you'll record juror's number 3's statement... What, me now? When the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights in the gas stove to go out, and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Obviously, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is... if Mr. Shamsier were to have blown Harry into the gas pipe here in his room, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building at will. Righty. I just suggested that the man purposefully caused the gas to.
Objection!
He always ruins it for me. He always ruins it for me. Whilst I acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during a summation examination, then why don't you stay fucking silent, you piece of shit? I must toast my learned friends out of disregard for the letter of the law. What is the meaning of this, Lord 16? This curious photograph of whatever it is presented by the defense, the so-called screen prints. Clearly, that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case. But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by a great detective. It's nothing. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands. Certainly, even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence. But... Please, my lord, if I may... Miss Sato? It was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the results of the great detective's investigation of the scene as a tool by which to explain a possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Ah! I'm just using it for reference. It's not actually in the paper. I'm just using it for reference. Don't worry about it. Very smart move. I mean, that's actually very smart. And if the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen, and I'm sure the jurors would agree. If only Susato was allowed to be a lawyer. Alas, misogyny. Yeah, right. Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide. Juror number 3! Oh yes, I do declare the great detective's investigation results sound absolutely fascinating. And I want to hear what that shady actor fellow has to say about those shady handprints. More. What's the matter with you two? That was foolhardy. Well, I did say, didn't I? And I don't like to break a promise. No, wait! You heard his lordship is nothing to... Hee. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhiro. Just one more juror changes his or her mind. Mr. Natsume's trial will have to continue. Thank you, Mrs. Sato, but I couldn't have done it without you. Oh no, it was you who identified the clue after all. This is very much your success. No, it wasn't. Ah, someone is a little sweaty. Why, Mr. Shamspierre, you seem to be losing your composure. Just one more juror, Mr. Naruhodo. You can do it. Very well, continue, counsel. Thank you. Let's see if I can get you to tell me something if I press you. All the evidence, you say. That's right, and there's no room for doubt. It's all pointing to that Japanese man with the big mustache. There's the English man with the bigger mustache. But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events on the night in question. What do you make of that? What, your so-called skin prints? It's an exciting new forensic investigation technique developed by the great detective himself. The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. And if Mr. Shamspeare has indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe on the night in question, it can't be denied that there's a possibility that's where the poison was. Well, yes, I wonder now that it's playing on my mind. But as the prosecution rightly says, we should pay no heed to unacceptable forms of evidence. Besides... Yes? Even if the fellow has been up to some mischief with the gas pipes dozens of times before, it doesn't mean he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it? Oh. If you can't make your case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance. You do make a very valid point, sir. What? That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty. Oh, no, wait! Look, you got your chance here, haven't you? So it's time to prove your theory. You and your Japanese cohorts can, that is. Just leave our nationality out of this, please. They can't, sweetie, they're racist. Mr. Naruhado, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back. What can I do? Is there any more proof I can give here? Can I show that Mr. Shamsir really did blow down the gas pipe on the night in question? Well, we don't have evidence, but Soseki said that he couldn't, like, he got woken up because he was asphyxiating, so... No, in truth, I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is witness testimony that substantiates it. What was that testimony? That's incredible. Whose testimony? Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. A person whose testimony revealed details about the gas in the garage of resident that night. Namely, our good 33. He's my age. What is with 33-year-old man?
Take that!
Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume himself. The defendant? At the very beginning of the proceedings here in court yesterday, Mr. Natsume said the following. My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happening in my lodgings. Even on that fateful night it happened, when I returned from Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the court, was that a mere coincidence or not? Bloody. That Shakespeare fellow blew air into the gas pipe to then make the man's stove go out on purpose. Now all your horses there, why would he do that for? Mr. Foreman. What is it, man? We cannot allow judgment to be passed while this doubt remains. It's true that I don't have conclusive evidence yet. However, you must surely agree that there is more to this case than meets the eye, like the robots in disguise. Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I am a man of logic first and foremost. Yay! Thank you, my dude. As forgers leaning towards not guilty, my lord, we've overturned the decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue. Say that. Then 6. As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with a majority of jurors altering their decision.
The jury members now called guilty, 4 now called not guilty. Therefore, the jury's opinion is conflicted, and in accordance with the law of this land, I hereby order the continuation of this trial. Mr. William Shakespeare.
My lord, how can thy humble Shakespeare serve thee?
What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation examination?
So God mend me, I do solemnly swear, I recall aught of neither the lamp or the pipe.
Your handprints have made a tidy mess all over the wall there. How do you explain that, eh?
Stop doing that.
I am done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5. Oh, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed Detective Stoy has now placed in a British court of law. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gas lamp with his hands against the wall remains at this time unestablished conjecture. You would all do well to remember that.
Objection!
But the prosecution was concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just ordered the mouth of the gas pipe feeding that lamp in Mr. Shems's room to be examined. If there are traces of poison there...
Objection!
What appears to be extremely simple is my Japanese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required. Yeah? Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have been spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making any analysis impossible.
I didn't think of that.
In any case, counsel, I failed to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you describe. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipe work where he lived?
There's only one possibility that I can think of. And that is... to use the leaking gas to commit murder.
Order, order, counsel! Precisely whose life do you propose this man was plotting to end?
The answer couldn't be simpler. Now we've unraveled the mystery this far. Mr. Shamsir wanted to end the life of... or the airboy Saseki Natsume, actual real writer.
Take that!
If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing.
I lay around those parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lid is pretty much suicide. You'd freeze to death in no time.
Mr. Garrett, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shakespeare was trying to end.
Outrageous.
I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain on this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder.
Good gracious.
Objection!
Oh, now you're gonna be object to my ideas. Like usual, I guess.
The accused is actually the aggrieved. Interesting. However, the fundamental facts of the case remain unchanged. Namely, that the accused is the aggressor here.
What? How can you still claim that?
Let us indulge our fancies for a moment and assume that there was indeed poison in the mouth of the gas pipe. The question that then arises is who put it there? Who did put it there? The only logical conclusion is that the person responsible was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his intent to kill. Yes, that would indeed seem logical. If the assailant were unaware, how would he or she have known the lace to end of the known to lace to have known to lace the end of the gas pipe with poison. God damn it. So now I must ask, how could anyone have known of Mr. Shamsphere murderous designs?
Oh, you mean to suggest...
Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question could have been more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known.
What?
In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe in what was clearly retaliatory attack, and only have been the accused, Mr. Saseki Natsume. Okay, but like if he don't knew, then why did he go drink tea with him? Just to put the poison, like that's ridiculous. Whatever Mr. William Shamsphere may or may not have contrived to do, he was nevertheless the victim of a potentially lethal poison attack. And the only person who could have possibly have perpetrated that attack is the accused Mr. Natsume. The defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that a clear motive for the poison has been successfully established, that suspicion is greater than ever. Will you not agree, my Nipponese friend? How did he manage to turn that around on me so rapidly?
Mr. Naruhodo, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leanings against us again. This may be your last chance to gain the advantage.
What advantage?
Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on the gas pipe in Mr. Shamsphere's room. So we must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume of guilt.
Oh, right, we have to find the actual guilty party. Cool, I forgot. You mean name the true culprit?
I know it might sound impossible, but if we fail to do that, I have no doubt that Mr. Natsume's fate will be sealed once and for all.
As it happens, one possible culprit does come to mind. The evidence, the poison, it's all pointing to a particular person now. The prosecution called for the jury to consider their leanings again. I trust you'll make the correct choice this time, Mr. Foreman. Well, no, don't you worry. We know exactly what... Get objected, idiot.
There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all of this. The true culprit of this crime.
The true culprit. A term found only in second-rate novels featuring third-rate grade detectives, my Nipponese friend. But why not? This fuss has gone on for so long already, I see no reason to get it shut before its disappointing climax. Thank you, asshole. Tell us, my Nipponese friend, what is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? Well, the only person who we know had poison on them in this entire case, I guess. I mean, it makes sense if her boyfriend died in the exact same fashion as Soseki was trying to get murdered, and Shamsphere has been here the entire time, and he wanted that lodge, well, those lodgings, like...
Take that!
It would make sense. The name of the person responsible for the poison that afflicted Mr. Shamsphere is, I believe, Miss Olive Green. Miss Olive Green. Miss Olive Green. I do feel as though I've heard that name in the recent past, Counsel, but I don't recall where. Miss Olive Green, the woman from 6 days ago.
The victim in the recent case of the stabbing on Raya Road, an incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add. Oh, of course, yes, Miss Green. She was left comatose for 3 days, I believe, but she gained consciousness 2 days ago. And I hardly need remind the court that Mr. Shamsphere poisoning took place 3 days ago. Given that the woman was lying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have a rather fine alibi. True, on the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital unconscious. So on the face of it, it would seem that she couldn't possibly be responsible, but still. My colleagues and I visited Miss Green in hospital yesterday, and we found her to be in possession of a bottle of poison. Good gracious, she had poison. And there is another fact that links Miss Green to this case as well. The defense requests that she be brought to the witness stand in order to explain the details to the court. Tell me, Mr. Shamsphere.
My lord, pray well be thy biding.
Are you acquainted with Miss Green?
No, never heard of her.
Judging by the look on Mr. Shamsphere's face, I think perhaps he genuinely doesn't know her. At least, not by name. As the voice of Her Majesty's prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my land Nipponese friends fast through to its conclusion. I appreciate that, except for the part where you call it a farce and you're racist against me again. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena another witness and bring her here. Yes, Miss Olive Green. Indeed, my lord, 1 hour should be sufficient. Very well, I grant the request. Excellent, I hope. The defense has made a most extraordinary accusation, I must say. But at the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsels. We reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned.
Yay!
Nothing like extending the situation to get ourselves away from getting a guilty verdict. February 11:32 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber.
Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks!
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Squire, and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Squires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent.
Good morning, my dear fellows.
Herlock Sholmes, may you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent.
I thought the tea was innocent. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. You're kind of late, you bastard.
Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's nearly time for luncheon.
Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. It is across mine.
He is right about that one. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. I did.
I did. That was me. Those were my thoughts.
The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. As sleep seduced me last night, I thought, tomorrow for once I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? My first night, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking! And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this: a good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What other presuppose I prove by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is a scientific method. Ah, yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah. Yes, of course, it's a poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to. It was a laborious task, as the bottle was near empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. So I was right. Perhaps, though of course circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the bottle is not recommended. Okay. Could I have a word? Oh, it's you. I thought it was gonna be Miss Green. I guess it makes no sense for her to be. For anyone to be Miss Green, considering she must be talking with the... She must be coming here, and if not, if she's already here, she's talking to the prosecution. Gregson, how good of you to go.
Forget it, excuse me.
Wait a minute, Inspector. He's back.
I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself.
My dear Inspector, please, speak freely, pretend that I'm not here.
Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
We have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shams's room.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't be long now, though. Now I'm here about something else. The dead convict, actually.
Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shams's room? A man by the name of, yes, Selden.
I went through the archives of the Yard and out the Fellows file. There's something in there that, well, caught my eye.
Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what?
I copied out the relevant parts for you so you can read it for yourself.
Thank you. These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shams's room. Let's check that out. Let's examine the bottle for a second. Wait, what? So this is the poison we've been hearing so much about, strychnine. There are a few remnants on the bottom of the bottle here, look. You mustn't be tempted to try it. Of course not, as long as we don't lose this trial. No, even if we lose the trial. No, we mustn't lose the trial in the first place, Mr. Hodo.
Make your mind up, Susato-san.
Okay, that seems to be the only thing about the bottle. And let's see. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Died of natural causes whilst in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. The estimated 1,000 pounds worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Okay. And that's just the natural causes thing. Okay. I'll rearrange everything in the court records so we don't have duplicate information.
Why are you giving it? Oh, goddammit, I thought it was Gregson for a second.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though?
Well, you're the ones that turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things are handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown.
A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Okay. Also for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the court house, to the courtroom at once. Before I have to whack your balls again.
Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not at all. Not enough at all. Certainly not.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm very tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears personally. So the best of luck to you.
Look, consider Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume.
It's time, isn't it?
Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shakespeare. This is going to be the final battle. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. It's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Renosuke. You have to. Yeah, if we have enough time, because we have like 30 minutes left. But with ending stream hour. If I did it, we'd probably get to do it. Stuffed. 23rd of February, 12:30 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this quorum to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of his incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord.
Prejudiced? Coming from you? The racist? God.
However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you, you asshole racist, for that backhanded consideration. Asshole. A rather cool assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Six is a new witness present and ready to take the stand. Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in. And whack their balls. Witnesses, say your names and occupations for the court, please.
William Shakespeare, my liege. For my occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim, to be pitied.
Currently unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Hashtag relatable. Also currently unemployed, in other words. You know, you don't have to call them out like that. Like him you can, but you don't have to call someone hashtag relatable like that, Van Six. It's kind of painful. What a coterie. Mr. Shakespeare?
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I am afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. Possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would for naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green?
Yes?
You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume.
Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pigmented personage.
Did he just call her fat? He just insulted the fact that her on the fact that she was fat.
Well, it's maybe not. I mean, he's calling her green, but I don't know. Something about it just felt, you know. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. Being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange indeed. What would you suspect me? I rarely ever go to the East End anyway.
You know, I just noticed that the upper part of her hair, like the little bun, I guess it would be a bun, it just kind of looks like the old Game Freak logo. Like, it just looks like the old Game Freak logo.
It so happens that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital fighting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Gary Devil household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspier's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspier.
But what happened 6 days ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned.
Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February.
It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst, for I had bespoke my supper. It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamsphere.
Thus, the following morn, when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine.
When Suseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, I suspect that there is nothing connected these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance, but I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish.
Yes, my lord.
Let's see. I want him to be specific about the tavern mostly, because then I can use what I know about Miss Green to actually get to him. A tavern, you say? Which one?
It was the slug and salad where I did tarry. There's a jewel in the East End.
And a little unexpected, I feel.
Hmm?
What do you mean, Lone Run 6? The slug and salads of unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
It's true, the menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness.
I will have expected Grub's Grovery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soap and mushy peas, or rather soupy water and feel like mush.
All equally appetizing.
But damn.
I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that?
How different can water really be? Well, depends if it's, contaminated or not, Renosuke.
But perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. So Mr. Shamspierre's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. Not yet, because we don't have the note. We need the note from Green, which might work if I ask her why she was in the air in the first place. I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment. If we find a clue that could explain when Mr. Shamsius went there, we must present it to the court. Yes, absolutely. If that is all on this matter, counsel, I would ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement. Okay, yeah, there it is.
Hold it!
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing really, it's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital.
Ah,
It was related to the car you were holding. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. Oh no, the poor mouse. My poor rat friend, Ratfield the Third. From memory, I believe the car contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
what does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Uh-huh, and you have a commentary?
Excuse me!
Do you have anything to say about that, Shamspierre? You sham?
Mr. Shamspierre, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be, that is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great parts was springed from within me, with near a thought.
Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps?
Well, nay, sire, there's nothing at all.
Presumably you know the name, though, Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house.
I would it were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me.
So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. Miss Green?
Me, my lord, have I done something wrong?
The car that was mentioned before, containing the note, do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please.
Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamsphere and Miss Green. Miss Duncan Rose.
Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green.
Except, give me a second.
Yeah, it's the same as, yeah.
The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me at the time to open correspondence more neatly than that. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo? Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up. They go together perfectly. This ton of end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card.
And ton of envelope also. Excellent.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you pursued Mr. Shamsphere wonderfully there.
It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere.
Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that. Yes, of course.
And yelling out objections isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Okay, and now I can go back to this guy. I can press him again. And I can present the card to prove that he was there for a particular reason, which is to meet with Miss Green. This is the same as before.
Mr. Shamsphere?
Yes, sire.
On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? It is Shakespeare for a very special reason.
I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speaketh.
Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely, where's the, there. Thank you.
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer.
Lord, Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Raya Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamsphere, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamsphere?
Well...
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this old man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well, then, you may amend your testimony to include details about the particular note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It has nothing to do with the old man next to me here.
Okay, but we have proof that that's not true.
Objection!
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago, this note was delivered to your address.
Upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you find yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope,
Oh, is it?
and it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspier's room.
In my room.
Mr. Shamspier, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well,
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slogan Salon on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so, that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspier. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
what did I do?
This torn off end of the envelope proves the note was originally in Mr. Shamspier's room. How is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspier's room and stole it.
You did what? Sorry, thou has what? You broke. I mean, thou were in my room. What on earth do you want with me?
It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green,
Yes?
whilst you have the correct sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind.
Yes, I know.
Very well then, witnesses, you will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
I do remember now. It was a week ago, peradventure that note was delivered unto me. On the day where therein I did tarry a long hour at the slug and salad and nobody came. Thereafter, of the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished. I don't know what you mean. You think I'd snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamsphere?
Faith, this so, my lord, and I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet, it's clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it.
Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was...
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon.
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie. The note was delivered to me at my address. Besides, we all know who the liar around here is.
Yeah, that's true, Miss Green. How do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in...
I don't see why I should explain.
Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs, you, the fledgling lawyer.
The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shakespeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. Mom? Yeah, about why you would do that actually.
Objection!
You do have the poison, so yesterday at the hospital we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting and killed a rat, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry said, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine. The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare. Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason, and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that fits the gas lamp in Mr. Shakespeare's room with poison. Can this be? You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shakespeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dearie, me. Damn. Order! Also, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set the odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as suspected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon. There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of an ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at the time. Lord Van Six? You're trying to help me? And of course, the following morning there was more activity at Mr. Shakespeare's address. More activity? Ah, yes! You mean his fellow lawyer, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? That's right, and as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shakespeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself, to cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shakespeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant. And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. A trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shakespeare was mysteriously poisoned.
In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe has been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the slug and salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for these instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger will not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home. Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Order, order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. What time is it? Oh, okay, it's time for me to... We're gonna save here. We're close to the end, I believe. There's not much else to prove in this case. But I do need to leave because I do have a medical situation to attend to. I have to get myself done some resonance for my possible tendinitis. So we're gonna end here, and next time, you know, we're getting right where we were. But anyway, thank you everybody for being here. Tomorrow something else, something different, so I can rest my throat for like 5 minutes after all of the voices. And then on Friday we are finishing this case, clearly, and we will finish, well, we will start the next case afterwards. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you everybody for being here. Have a good rest of your day, a good start to your week. And I'll see you tomorrow for something completely different. Hopefully it's a tendinitis, because all of the other options for what I have is worse. So let's hope for that. And also, thank God we're not gonna have to be dealing with Shamspia anymore. Thank the Lord. Bye everyone.